Right. If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so everyone can hear. And if you will state your name for the record and spell your last name, please.
Favor, Stoever.
All right, state you may proceed.
Detective Staver, how are you currently employed?
With San Antonio Police Department.
And what is your title or assignment with the San Antonio Police Department?
I'm currently a sergeant.
Okay. Does that mean that you're a certified peace officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please explain to the jury the training that you underwent to become, well, back up. At some point at the beginning of your career, were you a patrol officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you explain to the jury the training that you underwent to become a law enforcement officer with the San Antonio Police Department?
We went to the academy, San Antonio Police Academy. It was approximately 32 weeks of training, commonly 8-hour days, 5 days a week.
Okay. And then after that, is there a period of time where you go out with a more senior officer for more training?
Yes, post graduation at the academy, we go along for our FTO phase, which is approximately 3.5 months of ride-alongs, including the last 2 weeks of evaluations.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, just one moment. Cindy, do you need water or anything? No. Okay. All right, thank you. All right. You can continue.
Thank you, Judge. And prior to becoming a sergeant, were you a detective with the San Antonio Police Department?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you kind of explain that promotional process to the jury, please?
We get quite a extensive amount of reading material that we have to study, and take a promotional exam where you have to score the highest amongst the other candidates that are tested.
Okay. And then after being a detective, do you become a sergeant?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is that a more supervisory role?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now I want to talk to you about October 19th of 2023. Do you recall that date?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what was your label then with SAPD?
I was a detective.
Okay. And what unit were you with at that time?
At that time, I was assigned with our crime scene unit. I was one of the CSI detectives.
Okay. And when you say a crime scene detective, can you just explain to the jury what that means?
So commonly on those days, when I was at unit, I would be more or less a second responder. So after incidents, I would be called to the scene to identify, photograph, and collect evidence.
Okay. And as a detective with the crime scene investigation unit, were you in like a marked patrol vehicle, or what type of motor vehicle would you operate?
I was in one of our marked civilian vehicles.
Okay. And so the civilian vehicles, do they have a dash camera as a marked patrol vehicle would?
No.
Okay. And as a crime scene investigator or CSI detective, did you utilize body worn camera?
No.
Okay. So on October 19th of 2023, prior to the incident that we're here for today, did you have other calls that you responded to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how did you get involved in the case that we're here for today?
I was in the area of Nacogdoches and O'Connor for another call. I overheard a transmission on the radio that officers needed assistance due to what I thought I heard was somebody with a firearm. So that kind of piqued my interest a little bit of I need to pay attention because they're asking for more. And then the next transmission I heard was that there was an officer down. So I just went to that call.
Okay. And so after hearing that, do you recall what location you responded to?
The exact address, I cannot remember.
Okay. Was it in the area of Alta Puerta Street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is that located in Grand County, Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so when you arrived at that location, can you just describe to the jury the scene that you encountered at that time?
At that time, I was approaching the location, going down Stall Road, and I saw the other unit preparing to make the location. I made the intersection of off the port, can't remember the cross street, and turned left on the off port. At that time, I observed an officer down the road land. It didn't look like he could physically move himself from the road. So in that split second, I backed up, repositioned myself to my rear hatch door faced toward that officer, where my front engine block was faced away for possible officer extraction. I then parked my vehicle, got out of the vehicle, put on my rifle vest because I was dressed pretty much as is, but in different colors than this. And I radioed over the air that we're going to perform an officer extraction once the next arriving officers get there.
Okay. And so at the time that you arrived, were you and that civilian San Antonio Police Department car alone, or was someone else?
I was initially in the vehicle by myself, in the civilian San Antonio vehicle.
Okay. And then did other officers arrive to help you with the extraction?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall who those officers were?
It was Officer Ethan and Officer Reitmeyer.
Okay. Now regarding Officer Reitmeyer, do you know if he's available to testify in this trial?
I don't know his current state right now. I don't work with him in the department, so I don't know exactly what's going on.
Okay. But on that day you were working with Officer Reitmeyer, was he equipped with a body worn camera?
He was.
Okay. Have you had a chance to review that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and were you able to identify yourself on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And was it a fair and accurate depiction of the events that unfolded on the offense stand?
From his, yes.
Okay.
So I guess I'm just gonna show you State's Exhibit number 27. Is that a fair and accurate copy of Officer Reitmeyer's body worn camera?
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, at this time, I'm going to tender State's Exhibits 27 through 37 to defense for inspection. And offer the same pending any objection.
Judge, we did agree to let this officer authenticate the video because Officer Reitmeyer was unavailable. So we're stipulating to that, have no objection.
And that is State's Exhibit number 27?
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so State's Exhibit number 27 is admitted without objection.
No objections to the photos.
All right, then, and that's State's Exhibits 28 through 36?
That's correct. 37, Your Honor.
37, and those are photographs?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, State's Exhibits 28 through 37 are admitted without objection.
All right, and so officers Reitmeyer and Deason arrived to the location. Can you just describe to the jury how you all went about performing the extraction?
So my vehicle is one of the civilian vehicles. It does not have a partition cage separate people in the back seat from the front seat. So I advise for them to get in my car. We don't have that partition, so it gives more room for us to get people in and out. Officer Deason got into the front passenger seat. Officer Reitmeyer got in the back seat. Officer Deason was equipped with a rifle, one of the patrol rifles. I believe that the suspect involved in this was potentially on the passenger side of the vehicle, just from the position of the officer in the road. So I advised Officer Deason to get out of the front seat. That I believe that if there was going to be shots fired at us, that would probably be targeted more at him. And advised it to be outside of the vehicle in a better position. Got out of the vehicle and got onto the driver's side of the front engine block. Officer Reitmeyer in to check, make sure his back door doesn't lock, because I found the back door is locked from the inside. It did, so he put down his window and was able to unlock the door from the outside, kept it open. We began backing down, to get the first officer that was in the road, between. As we begin to back down, I believe that we going a little too slow. I think I told myself, and I was trying to communicate to Officer Deason that, hey, we gotta go a little quicker, we're gonna be a bullet catcher. Obviously the window was up, so he didn't hear it. He had to break off for his own cover as we picked up a little more speed to get Officer Swain out of the road. As we approached, Officer Reitmeyer got out of the back seat, had Officer Swain pulled them in on top of them into the back seat where their feet were hanging out through the passenger side door. Then I drove up off of Parker to get across the street out of the neighborhood, and as we made the right turn, fortunate enough, SAFD was making the location. So we transferred Officer Swain to EMS. At that time, I asked for another officer. We had to go get the second officer. Nobody was available initially. Reitmeyer was taking Officer Swain to the EMS at that time. He finished transferring care of Officer Swain to EMS and then ran back to the vehicle ready to go again.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you very briefly. So at the point when you reversed your vehicle and to extract Officer Swain, can you just explain to the jury the state that you observed him in, prior to extracting him?
He was laying on the street, with apparent blood on the pavement, unable to physically get up from the roadway.
And after transferring custody of Officer Swain to EMS, who was able to help you go back for the second extraction?
Also Reitmeyer again.
Okay, and can you please explain that process to the jury?
Again, since we pulled onto that street that enters, exits from the neighborhood, I had to back up. As I was backing up, I radioed for the address of where he was. Somebody on the air, I think it was maybe the homeowner, I'm not for sure, but somebody gave the address. It wasn't this car's voice. Gave the address where he was. I repeated it, you know how many times. The numbers over and over and over, just keep going. By the Officer Reitmeyer takes a deep breath. That's our heart rate's probably in the 200s. Backing up, back down the street. They know where the house was. So I was like, hey, well, this system worked the first time. Let's see if it works the second time and hope for the best. And we back down, and then we back down the cross street. I can't remember the name of that street. And we approached the address for the house where Officer Viscar was in. As we got out of the vehicle, Officer Reitmeyer, I believe he saw the homeowner there with a firearm. He threw his firearm and was, I guess, potentially prepared to engage. I was telling him multiple times, hey, we're at a friendly house, like this is a friendly, this is not suspect. We gotta go in and get the officer. We entered the second house, or I guess our first house that we entered, but the neighbor's house. Other this car up on the floor with apparent blood in his rifle. He picked him up. I picked him up by his upper body. Reitmeyer picked him up by his lower body. We carried him out. I fell into my back seat. Actually, I got in and I pulled him up into the back seat on top of me. And then pulled Reitmeyer, like, we're not switching out, like, you drive this time. And so Reitmeyer drove up past past the suspect's house again and back toward where we dropped him off again for EMS.
Okay. So I want to kind of back up a little bit. So when you all pulled up to the location where Officer Viscara was located, did you state that a person that was inside that residence had some type of firearm?
Yeah, I believe that's what he saw. I didn't initially see it.
Okay, and when you say you saw that Officer Reitmeyer,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, and so at that time, was there a little bit of confusion to where you felt you needed to communicate to Officer Reitmeyer that the individual inside of that home was not the suspect?
Yes.
Okay, and so then, once you communicated that it was a friendly residence to Officer Reitmeyer, then you all were able to conduct the extraction of Officer Viscara?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so then after transferring custody of Officer Viscara to EMS, where did you go after that?
I moved my car out of the road just to keep the ingress and egress paths open. And then I reapproached the suspect's house on that side of the street. Observed another officer that was in concealment. Hey, get better cover. Like, this is not good cover. You know, it's the way with the right. And then moments after that, the suspect was coming out of the house and was shortly placed in custody.
Okay. And did you observe the suspect placed in custody?
Yes.
Okay. And then after that, did you participate in clearing of the backyard of the suspect residence?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about Officer Swain and Officer Viscara. Were you able to observe the uniforms that they were wearing when you were performing the extraction?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm gonna go ahead and publish to the jury the state's exhibits. All right, Sergeant, can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
This is state exhibit number 28. Can you please explain to the jury who that is?
That would be me.
Not getting lighting on here, but when you viewed the photo, state exhibit number 28, was there anything of note on your uniform?
So that better. I did, but down towards my legs, knees area, you can see the apparent blood. Both my hands, apparent blood.
Right there.
Yes.
Okay. State exhibit number 29. Does that show the same thing?
Yes, that's a little more zoomed in.
Okay. State exhibit number 30. Can you let the jury know who that is?
That would be also right.
Okay, and what are we seeing on his arms in state's exhibit number 30?
Apparent blood.
And state's exhibit number 31.
You see the apparent blood on his pants a little bit more. In his hands.
And then state exhibit number 32 is Officer Viscara's uniform.
Frank, on this vehicle, we're gonna, on your side, you're not to the side, man. You're not to the side. Hey, man. You're in the back seat. Well, sure. You can.
And I'm pausing the state exhibit, but the individual that we see directly in front of the body worn camera, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and who is in the passenger seat next to you?
That was Officer Deason.
Okay, and then the person that's in the back seat capturing this, is that Officer Reitmeyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Go check the door, make sure you can open that up. Put your window down. We're trying to now. Back before I go. You, sir. I'm trying to get him right now. We're back up. And also down into 32. Hang on. I got you. Blue. Oh no. We're gonna get a target. Happy event on the corner. He's got one turn hit on. Get him out. Bring him down. Go for it. Okay. Look, it's in here. Get him. Get him to EMS. Look. Anybody advise me that during you right here, that came up all in the back of the truck. Hold on. Give him, bring him up. Helps up.
And I on the camera, do you know what that is?
It looks like air blood. It's here.
With me. Thank you, man. I'm gonna go get another one. It's right here around the corner. Good, man. Deep breath. I'm ready. Deep breath. Yeah, where you at? That's right. 1631 6319. 16319. Oh, watch your hand. I'm down. Watch on. Right here. Right here. We're right in front of him. I don't see him. I don't see him. He's inside. Our guy's inside? Yeah. Watch it. Watch, he's right there. Yonder. He's right there. He's inside. I just saw him behind him. I just saw the guy with the rifle. He's in front of us. Okay. Hey, we're coming. Get him. It's in the car. Like, I'm getting my little car. Please, come on, man. You're good, man. We're gonna get you around the corner. You mess there. Come on, man. Come on. You back him in. Yep. All right, we'll drive. Go around. Hold him in. Go to the EMS report. Oh, you're good. I don't know if it's above crazy. You guys over here, man. We're going right over the curb. We got it. Stop right here at the EMS. Okay. Stop right here. Hey! Now we go. Come on. No, come on. Walk.
Identified as a police officer with a rifle given the situation, is that fair to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and at the moment that you all were performing that extraction, you didn't know if you were also a target and were gonna be rained down on with gunfire, is that fair to say?
That is.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna show you what has been marked as state's exhibit numbers 38 through 44. Can you please take a look at those for me? Do you recognize what is contained and depicted in state's exhibits 38 through 44 inclusive?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and are they a fair and accurate depiction of the item depicted on the date of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, I'm tendering state exhibits 38 through 44 inclusive to defense for inspection and offering the same.
No objection.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
All right, State's Exhibit 38 through 44 is admitted without objection.
Permission, well, I'm gonna question the witness and then
Yes.
publish. So regarding state exhibit number 38, can you please tell me what is depicted in that photo?
That would be my patrol car for the day. That's the city vehicle.
And in state exhibit number 39,
That's the city's identifying number for
and state exhibit 40,
the rear side of the vehicle depicting the applied number, the city applied number along with license plate.
state exhibit number 41.
That would be the second row passenger side door with apparent blood.
And state exhibit number 42.
A zoomed in view of the door frame and back seat are covered in apparent blood.
And the back seat, is that where both officers were placed for the extraction?
Yes,
State exhibit 43.
this would be the back seat of that same vehicle from the driver's side.
And state exhibit 44.
And that would be the zoomed in, same point of view, image of the second row vaccine, that same view.
We pass the witness here.
Defense?
Thank you, Judge. Officer, I know y'all are trained on this kind of stuff, correct?
Yes, sir.
Fortunately, it's not often used, correct? I mean, compared to most of your training, right? Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
It obviously is very dramatic, high stress, adrenaline pumping, and certainly you had to have fear entering what is potentially a firing zone. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
All right. Really, the only question I have for you is just a little bit of clarification. Your patrol vehicle, the windows were all open to where you know this shooting came from, right? Like, I mean, you exposed yourself to where the shooter had been when Officer Swain and Officer Vizcarra got shot, correct?
The only window that was down was the back passenger side window in case the door closed so he could reach out and open the door.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, no, like by driving during this extraction, you exposed yourself to, I guess, the shooter's vantage point, correct? Like you exposed yourself to where the shooter was.
Yes, by driving by, we were in the area where we could possibly be shot also.
And it didn't come up, but like these city vehicles, these are not like they don't have bulletproof glass or anything like that.
No.
And so if somebody was using a rifle to shoot at that city vehicle, you would have been very exposed to that, correct?
Yes.
And I guess the only point of clarification I have is that during both those extractions, nobody ever opened fire on you at any point in time, correct?
My vehicle was never struck by any kind of fire.
Well, you don't know if anybody even attempting to shoot at you, correct?
I do not know.
All right, that's the only question I had, officer. Thank you.
Any further questions?
No, Your Honor, and excuse my state.
Excuse?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to view anything or discuss your testimony with anyone until this trial has concluded.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may step down. All right, can I see the state and the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
All right, you can lower your hand. If you'll state your name for the record and spell your last name, please.
My name is Craig Easton. Last name is spelled Deason.
All right, state you may proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Is it officer, detective, sergeant?
Detective.
Detective Beeson, thank you. All right. Would you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
I'm Detective Easton with the San Antonio Police Department. I've been on the department for about 17 and a half years. And at the time I was on patrol for about 15 years.
When you say at the time, are you talking about the incident that we're here for today?
Yes, ma'am.
Before we get to that, I want to talk to you a little bit more about your background. You said 17 and a half years with the department. What various roles have you held with SAPD in that time?
I've been a detective, a patrol officer, and an FTO, a field training officer that trains new probationary officers coming out on the streets.
Are you a certified peace officer?
Yes, ma'am.
And you mentioned field training officer. So back in October of 2023, was that your role?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that as a patrol officer or as a detective?
As a patrol officer.
So since 2023, you've promoted to detective.
Yes, ma'am.
And in October of 2023, what were your duties besides training other officers? Were you on patrol, traffic, street crimes? What were your duties?
It was patrol, and our primary objective there is to answer 911 calls and stuff like that, disturbances, breaches of the peace.
Okay. And on that day, were you training a new officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was that?
Justin Rittmeyer.
Right, Ryan? Okay. And does that mean, if you're training him, does that mean y'all are riding together?
Yes.
And do you know if Officer Reitmeyer has been injured since this incident?
Yes.
Is he currently kind of out of commission as far as police work goes for now?
Yes.
And back to that day, on that day, did you hear a call come out for assistance being needed in the area of Amistad Pass and Alta Puerta?
Yes.
And what did you and Officer Reitmeyer do when you heard that call?
We immediately left the location that we were at, which was the scene of a robbery. We were mostly finished up, so we began driving that way.
And what did you understand the nature of the call to be that you were responding to?
Initially, it was like a family violence or a disturbance, like a domestic disturbance type of call.
And you said initially, so did your understanding of what you were driving to change on your way there?
Yes, it did.
And how's that?
Over the radio, the officers became distressed, and we could hear gunshots over the radio. And eventually, one of the officers stated that he was hit.
And so what did that change for you and Officer Reitmeyer as far as how you're approaching the scene and the situation?
It changes several things. It changes our type of response. We're gonna increase our speed, getting to the location quicker, and we're also gonna make sure that we're adequately prepared once we get to the location. So we have additional body armor that we can put on. So we stop, we put that body armor on. I deploy my long gun as preparation to be on the scene. So we're ready when we get there.
And were you wearing a body camera when you responded to the scene on October 19th of 23?
Yes, sir.
Detective Ethan, I'm gonna hand you what's been marked State's Exhibit 45. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 45?
Yes.
Is State's Exhibit 45 a fair and accurate depiction? Body cam on that day, apart from the redactions we made to comply with the rules of evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
We'd offer into evidence State's Exhibit 45, Your Honor.
No objections, Judge.
All right, State's Exhibit number 45 is admitted without objection.
May I publish him?
Yes.
Step forward just for efficiency. So you mentioned that you had to change your body armor. Did you guys pull over on your way there after you heard the change in the nature of the call?
Yes, we did.
And is that what we see you doing here on video is, like you said, deploying your rifle and putting on your rifle plate?
Yes, ma'am.
And why is it that you need to put on a rifle plate?
The body armor that we normally wear is adequate for like a pistol, small caliber pistols and things like that. A rifle, you penetrate that armor into a weapon. So we steel plates in the front and back, so that it may not penetrate the armor.
And knowing that you are potentially approaching a suspect with a rifle, how did that impact your decision to deploy your own rifle?
We never want to be overwhelmed or at a disadvantage in doing our job. So it's advantageous for us to deploy at least the same type of weapon that the suspect is using. So we had knowledge that the rifle was being used, so that's what we would do. It's a far superior weapon than a handgun or a pistol is. It's more accurate, and it also carries more rounds.
You say more accurate, does it make a difference at a distance?
Yes, it allows us to be much further away from the location than we would have to be to engage with the pistol.
And does that make the situation overall more safe or less safe, creating the distance?
Creating distance makes it more safe.
All right, so what are we seeing here at 19:05 and 8 seconds?
That's me about to load up into the front passenger side of Officer Stover's CSI vehicle. It's a civilian vehicle. We're about to reverse down the street and extract the officer that's injured. 2 officers injured.
Now, you wound up not getting in the car. Why was that?
I had no way to really, the suspect's house was on the right-hand side of the street when we were reversing, and so I had no way to like deploy my weapon if I needed to. So right now I'm basically coming around the front side to take cover behind the engine bay, the engine block, and the wheels of the car.
Positioning yourself in that location, is that something that you learn in your training experience and provides a better barrier for you?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna pause just for a second. So you have moved away from Officer Saver's car and they continued backing up. Why was that?
I'm not sure the reason, but they decided that they needed to go faster.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, why did you break away from their car and move over to this patrol car instead of continuing with them?
Just because they moved faster. I was gonna be their cover the whole time, but they decided to move faster, so I couldn't keep up.
Okay. And so positioning yourself behind this car, does this provide you cover?
It does provide me some cover.
And then does it give you not an opportunity, but maybe a vantage point to provide them cover from the suspect when they try to extract Officer Swain from the ground?
Yes.
Would you, what did we just hear right now?
Two gunshots sound like they came from a rifle and sound like they came from the direction of the suspect's house.
What's the timestamp on the video at this point?
October 19th, and it's 19:06
And 52 seconds?
and 52 seconds.
Okay. I'm gonna take your video out just for a second. Record, I have just put back in state exhibit. State exhibit 20. Can you read for the members of the jury the timestamp on this video that we see where I paused it right now?
So it's October 19th, 2023, and it's 19:05 and 20 seconds.
So this visual that we're seeing of Officer Biscar going into this home is before we hear those gunshots
Yes, ma'am.
on your video. So Officer Biscar is already inside the home and no longer firing his weapon.
Yes.
You can put your video back in. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So are you standing at this vehicle and providing cover as Saver and Reitmeyer extract both Officer Swain and Officer Bisara from that home?
Officer Swain was extracted already, first from the roadway.
Right.
Behind the patrol car, and then yes, right now, I believe this car is being extracted from them.
So after the off, oh, here we go. We just saw a vehicle come into the view. What is that?
That is gonna be, Officer Saver's patrol car.
Are more officers starting to arrive on the scene at this point?
Yes, one more has arrived.
At this point, Officer Detective Ethan is suspect starting to come out of the home.
Yes, ma'am, we tried to establish communication with them verbally, and, he ended up coming out of the front door. We're giving him commands now, I believe.
And what kind of commands would those be?
I believe we asked him to show his waistband and keep his hands, above his head, so we could make sure that he didn't have any other weapons.
What are y'all doing at this point?
Right now, we're gonna do a protective sweep of the home, make sure that there's no other people inside, make sure there's no injured people inside, no other threats.
You just made your way up the stairs. Do you see any, or when you were doing this, did you notice any items that were relevant as you're doing your protective sweep of the home, given what has just happened?
Yes, ma'am, I saw some magazines sitting on this little ledge here, and then there's a rifle laying on the floor in the bedroom doors.
Let me pause it real quick. Are those the rifles right there on the half wall, or I'm sorry, not the rifles, the magazines on the half wall that you're walking past right now?
Yes, ma'am.
And then where in the image is the rifle?
Almost direct center, just below the beam of my light.
When you were going through this room right here, were you able to make any determinations about if this room had any relevance to what had just occurred?
Yes, immediately you can see that the window's broken out. The blinds are destroyed. There's holes in the wall around the window from the woods.
And so what does that tell you about what happened in this room, if anything?
That's where the shooting took place. Suspect had a good vantage point. It was an elevated position to attack the police officers that were arriving on scene.
Did you notice any shell casings in the room as well?
Yes.
Officer Houston, I'm gonna show you, or sorry, Detective, what's been marked as State's Exhibit 46, and ask if you recognize State's Exhibit 46.
Yes, ma'am.
Is State's Exhibit 46 a fair and accurate screenshot that has come directly from State's Exhibit 45?
Yes.
And does State's Exhibit 46 fairly and accurately depict the perch that the defendant had been able to create for himself to fire on these officers unsuspectingly?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, would like to offer an evidence State's Exhibit 46.
No objection.
All right, State's Exhibit 46 is admitted without objection.
May I publish them?
Yes.
And in State's Exhibit 46, can you tell the jurors what the viewpoint would have been of the shooter from this angle?
From that angle, our patrol cars, the initial patrol cars parked would have been right here in this area. So from this side of the window, you would have had a view of the entire cul-de-sac and then the street approaching it on both sides.
And so after you assisted in doing the protective sweep of the house, is that common in situations like this where there has just been a shooting? Is it necessary for your procedure and protocol to do a protective sweep of the location that this happened?
Yes, absolutely.
After you do that protective sweep, is that essentially the end of your involvement in this incident?
Well, we have to maintain the evidence and secure the scene and everything else. So as far as engagement with parties involved there, yes, but we still have a responsibility to maintain the evidence at the scene as much as possible.
So did you stick around on scene?
Yes.
Do you remember if you you didn't talk to any witnesses or collected any evidence or anything, though?
No.
You were just kind of manpower, I suppose?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Defense?
Thank you, Judge. Detective, just a few questions. My name is Ernest Acevedo. Detective, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You did give a statement to one of the detectives assigned to the case, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and so like in your statement that you gave them, we've gotten a copy of that a long time ago. But did you say that you thought you heard 4 shots when you were behind the police car taking cover?
Yes, I did. I thought I did.
Okay, and just to, I'm just trying to correct the record, make sure we're accurate. Like your body cam, there's 2 shots that you hear, not 4, right? And that was just because you were doing this off perception, not without a chance to watch your body cam, right?
Yes, sir.
And in adrenaline-packed situations, counting sounds is not always very accurate.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, again, to clarify some things, rifle rounds, if they land near you, you can generally hear, correct?
Sure.
Okay, so like if somebody had shot the patrol vehicle you were taking cover behind, you would have heard that, right?
Yes, sir.
If bullets had struck the ground near you, you would have heard that as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it fair to say when you were taking cover, those 2 shots that you heard were not directed towards you?
No, I don't believe they were.
All right. Now, you're a detective now, but like have you reviewed the detective prosecution guide for this case?
No, sir.
Okay, so if the detective who invested the case has an explanation for the last 2 shots, that's not something you have personal knowledge of?
No, sir.
All right, but again, to be fair, as far as your evaluation, those 2 shots that you heard were not directed at you. They did not appear to be directed at Officer Swain or Officer Viscara because they were gone already, right?
Yes, sir.
And they did not appear to be directed at the vehicle that was doing the extraction because Swain was gone already and they hadn't come back for Viscara yet.
Your Honor, I'm gonna object to speculation as to where they were directed.
All right, that'll be sustained.
Well, I think he had personal knowledge of it, Judge, because I mean, can I rephrase?
You'd have to lay the foundation.
Sure, let me rephrase. Okay, when you hear the shots from your body cam, has Officer Swain already been taken away in the city unit?
Yes.
Okay, you hear 2 shots, not towards you, before the city vehicle and the extraction team before they come back for Viscara, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so when they dropped everybody off at the EMS vehicle, the EMS vehicle was not in sight of the range of the shooter, correct?
No, sir.
Okay, so I mean, you do know because you were right there. Those shots were not at the extraction vehicle, Officer Swain, or Officer Viscara, from your personal knowledge, because you were right there near the house and saw what was around it, correct?
Your Honor, I'm
Yes.
gonna object again, just because he would be speculating as to where the shots were aimed at.
All right, could you please rephrase your last question, please?
Well, I wasn't, okay.
If you'll just ask the question, counsel.
But the objection was backwards, Judge. I wasn't saying, okay, I'll rephrase it. The extraction vehicle, when you heard the 2 shots, had already taken Deputy or Officer Swain, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you do know that when those 2 shots rang out, they couldn't have been shooting at the extraction vehicle for Officer Swain, correct?
Correct.
Officer Swain was at the EMS vehicle when those shots went off. They could not have been directed at Officer Swain.
It might have been directed at a last known location. I don't know.
But I'm saying for the actual, the officer had been taken to the EMS vehicle, correct? And the EMS vehicle was not in the line of sight of the house. So you couldn't have taken a shot at the EMS vehicle from the house, correct?
Correct.
All right. Viscara, because they showed you the body cam, was inside somebody's house when those 2 shots went off, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so those 2 shots could not have been directed towards Officer Viscara, correct?
As present location, yes.
Okay. The extraction vehicle that came back for Officer Viscara comes into view down the street, I mean, several seconds, like 30 seconds, maybe a minute after those shots rang out. And it had been at the EMS vehicle, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as a detective now, I mean, you can say with commercial knowledge that those 2 shots were not aimed at the extraction vehicle when they came back the second time. Because they wouldn't have been in the line of sight.
I don't know.
Okay. That's all I was trying to clarify. It got a little complicated. I know there wasn't some sound wasn't on this exhibit. Do you recall Jesse or Mr. Prado giving himself up, like telling, hey, I'm going to surrender, I want to come out? Do you remember hearing that?
I didn't hear that personally. I just saw when he came out the front door.
Those are all the questions I have. Thank you, officer or detective.
Well, sorry, Your Honor. No further questions.
All right, is the witness excused or subject for recall?
He's excused from.
Excuse from us, Judge.
All right. The rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony or view anything regarding this trial until the trial has concluded. If you'll remove the square mic, please. Thank you. State, call your next witness.
State